uplifting your mind, body, and soul. It's the Peace Over Everything podcast with Shannon and Erica.
The views and opinions shared on the Peace Over Everything podcast are for inspiration only and not professional, legal, financial, or medical advice. The hosts and guests are not responsible for any actions taken based on the content. Listener discretion is advised. Now, let's get into the podcast.
And we are back with another episode of the Peace Over Everything podcast with your hosts, Shannon Walston.
And Erica Vincent.
I'm pretty sure I said host instead of hosts.
It's all right, girl.
Hosts.
Yeah.
Welcome back. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here too, and I'm so glad that y'all are here. Where y'all listening at in the car? Where y'all listening at in the house?
Right. Leave
y'all
it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments where y'all listening from.
Yeah.
So for this episode, you guys, we just really want to recap this awesome event that we attended just a few weekends ago. It's called Design with a Purpose, and it was brought to my attention through Erica, who was a guest panelist at the awards. Would you call it like an award show or?
It was like, y'all know, like the women's empowerment events. It was one of those, and there was like a panelist section that I was a part of, but then they also, excuse me guys, they had an award ceremony as well for a bunch of different things, and it was some dope people in the room.
When I tell you I had a great time, like I feel like I was on a high after the event. It was so good. From start to finish was so good. Not even just, I mean, going into it, I think, of course, there to support Erica because she was a panelist. But also, Peace Over Everything had a booth there as well. So, getting prepared, not really understanding what to expect, as this was like our first time really being, like Peace Over Everything, this was our first time like really being somewhere. And then, Erica, talk about how you were feeling doing both, being a panelist and also having Peace Over Everything at the event.
It was definitely one of those things, like, am I ready for this? Like, it was second guessing leading up to it, but everything literally fell into place. And I had never really cared about those type of like women's empowerment style events because I always felt like they were really like women there to just kind of one up on each other, like I'm flexing or whatever. But this event, and shout out to Tanya, Miss Positivity,
I know,
for
that's
putting this
right.
whole thing together. It was
Phenomenal.
Actually, I mean, like Shannon said, I left on a high. Like, even the next day, me and Shannon was like, yo, like, do you still feel that? Like,
Yes. Even when I think back on that day, I was just like, and I was telling anybody I was talking to, like, you know what? Because, like I said, this was our first time, so we didn't really tell a whole lot of people about it. We told, like, close people, but next year, I feel like everybody needs to be in attendance.
Absolutely.
Everybody, all the women in your life, even there were men in the building. Even though this is like a women empowerment thing, there were still men there supporting their spouses. Just, it was like dope, like Erica said. I mean, from like the guest speakers to the different segments to the testimonies, it was just good vibes all around.
And so it was held, if you guys are in the North Carolina, what was it, Mooresville this year area, and I know, was it Durham? But anyway,
Durham.
if you in like
Durham.
RDU or whatever, definitely we will keep you guys posted whenever the next event happens that Miss Positivity, Miss Tanya puts together. I mean, Shannon, we can jump right into it. It's amazing how you don't really truly know if you're ready until something happens, and then you might feel triggered. You might feel, am I ready for this?
Right.
And we had me and Shannon, we were at our booth and we had all our things set up because in addition to the podcast, we also have clothing. And if you did not know that, go to www.peaceofereverything.com. So we were sitting at the table, and you want to go ahead and explain what happened, girl?
Yes. So before I tell you like the amazing experience we had there with someone, let me just back it up and let you guys know, like, behind the scenes, we were really struggling with if we were going to actually show up to this event as Peace Over Everything.
Right.
Or if Erica was to just going to speak on the panel. And of course, I was still going to show up and support her and do all the things. Very, very last minute, me and Erica was like, you know what? we're going to do it. We're going to give it our best shot. We are going to order all the things, and then leading up to the event, things were getting lost in the mail. Things weren't coming. And me and Erica kept going back and forth like, this is just the enemy. The enemy will try everything to stop you from doing what you need to be doing. He will distract you. He will make you feel like you're not worthy of things.
He be trying.
Right. He tries so hard to be such a loser.
Right.
He tries so hard. And so leading up to it, we really we're going back and forth. Like, should we do it? Like, no, we're not prepared. Like, thoughts of the enemy, like, no, we're not ready for this. Like, we'll try again next time. When the reality is you never are going to be prepared. You just have to start. You put your best foot forward each time it gets better. But how can you get better if you never actually start?
That's right.
And so we're sitting at the event, right? Having a good time, mind you. We talking to all the vendors. We laughing, kikiing. So we're sitting in our booth, and this young lady walks up to our table and is just like, oh my God, it's you guys. I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
Me and Shannon was like, wait, us?
As she's talking, I'm thinking in my mind, there's no way she's talking about us. I'm just being for real. There's no way she's talking about us. I'm thinking that she thinks that we're someone else, Yep. She's like, oh my gosh, I love you guys. I love your podcast. I just found you guys. You came up on my For You page. I followed your TikTok, your Instagram. Like, me and my best friend talk about you guys. And we looked in your Instagram and we saw that you hadn't posted in a while. So we weren't sure if you guys were still active. Like, all the things. And the whole time I'm smiling. I'm nodding like, yeah, girl. Mm-hmm. The whole time I'm thinking she is not talking about us. Mind you, because, just to keep it real, we hadn't been putting out content like that. Like, right. It had been a while since we put out content. So for you to say you found content on your For You page, that would mean our content is in rotation. And in my mind, I'm like, we haven't posted in a while. So what content could you have possibly been seeing? Girl, but when she started speaking and giving details, it was like, oh, you do know who you're talking to. You literally do know who you're talking to. And then she had pointed, Erica was like, and you talked about your divorce. And, then she started saying things that let us know oh, you actually are talking to us. Right. You know exactly who you're talking to, right? Mm-hmm. When I tell you, Miss Ariel.
Hey, Miss Ariel.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
If you're listening, and I'm going to be honest, I might send this to you. I might send you the link just to let you know we shouted you out.
Right.
If you're listening to this, you have no idea just what that short interaction did for us. It let us know, girl, yeah, she's talking about y'all. Right. Yes, continue to show up. In a time where we were in our minds and very doubtful of things, and we, are still encouraging one another as well as encouraging ourselves. In a time where we were just like, is this even making a difference? For real, do we keep doing this? You came and you were just like, no, please keep going. Yep. Please keep going. Please keep showing up. And when I tell you, I was just in awe of the entire interaction, because of course we tell our family and our friends about it. And of course they listen. And we so appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting us, for reaching out to us when you haven't heard from us in a while, for just encouraging us and even for just pushing us in all the aspects, whether it's merch, whether it's showing up, whether it's being consistent. We do appreciate all of that, but it feels differently when it comes from someone who you have no connection to. You know what I'm saying? It's different when it's you're not a stranger anymore, Ariel, so please don't think that. But when it comes from someone that you had not met previously, that you weren't, hey, listen to the podcast and let me know what you think. It hits differently when you're like, oh, we are actually reaching people. Thanks.
And it's so crazy because in that moment, it really was like Shannon said, she ain't talking about us. When she walk away, she gonna open up her phone and she gonna realize, dang, I said all of that and it won't even them. But when she said, she said details, it was hitting oh my gosh, she is talking about us. And Shannon and I, from that, it was oh my God, when she walked off, the vendor beside us, the woman beside us was now imagine if y'all were consistent. Ooh. Literally, it was almost the world just stopped and God used you to speak to us, to encourage us. And then the vendor lady beside us, as amazing as she is, she's encouraging us. Yeah. But it really magnified the fact that we have to work on who we believe we are, because what sense does it make? We just keep showing up, not really believing,
Yeah. No, and that's like the funny thing about imposter syndrome is like, mind you, okay, in that moment, I'm thinking, there's no way she talking about us. But also, I turn to Erica once once you walk away, and I'm just like, girl, I'm like, that was nice, but, and we both said the same thing. The first couple minutes into it, I was like, she wasn't talking about us. And how crazy is it that we both had the same thought until
Literally.
she started giving details, and then it clicked. But why wouldn't she be talking about y'all? Here we are showing up for all the other women in our lives and all the other new friends we're making. And we're trying to be your cheerleader. And that's the purpose of Peace Over Everything, is to have a cheerleader when you don't feel like you have anyone in your corner. You would know that you could come here, and we are a community of women or people in general. We are a community of people that will encourage you, that will show up for you in any aspect of the word. But in that moment, it took me and Erica pouring into each other back in to just reinforce the thought, like, girl, you are exactly who you think you are, right? And that goes both ways. If you think low of yourself, then you are exactly who you think you are. So imposter syndrome, man, it shows up. I mean, it creeps up on you, but it takes the people in your corner. First, it takes you being vulnerable enough to like call and be like, girl, this is how I'm feeling, having that safe space. But then it's like, okay, I'm showing up, I'm telling you how I feel, but then it's the job of the person on the other line to reinforce, like, no, ma'am, we're finna nip this in the bud right now. Like,
But it's so let's get into it even from there. So like there was that encounter, and then like Shannon said, I spoke on the panel, and I was
she
up there
did
with
an amazing job, y'all.
Thank you.
We didn't get into all the event, but let me tell you something. That panel was right on time.
And it was what, 3 other amazing women that I'm sitting next. I mean, authors.
Yes.
I mean, just amazing women and
entrepreneur. Like,
yes.
When I tell you, the women empowerment was in the building, and it didn't feel like competition. It felt like we were all clapping for everybody. We sharing our testimonies, we laughing, we singing, we're dancing, we're doing all the things, and it's just like a good time.
But you know what? I would say I think the difference too is that from the conversations, it seems like most of the women's foundation was all the same. We all are doing our best, but our personal foundation goes back to God and Christ.
Absolutely.
And I think that made everything different as far as the room, the energy, the encouragement, the positivity, the genuineness. You could just feel, even standing next to a woman and she compliments you, and I'm like, oh my God, I love your hair too, girl.
Mind you, we don't know any of these women.
We don't know.
We coming in like, hey, how you doing? We just showed up as ourselves, and women, they're pouring into us, we're pouring into them. We met some like everyone there was amazing, but the people that we got an opportunity to speak with personally, amazing. Hey, Desiree. Hey, Desiree girl.
Desiree girl. But beyond that, guys, I struggled. I called Shannon on the phone. I think it was the day or 2 later. I struggled because I was feeling like, oh my God, did I do a good job? Like, it really showed me great things to be around those amazing women, but it also reflected something inside of me that I am on a journey to work on. And like Shannon said, it is imposter syndrome. It's an individual thing. And then we have this amazing business, this amazing podcast, this amazing clothing line that God has given us. And, now from that point, it has been magnified that we have to work on believing who God said we are. You know what I'm saying? So I called her, and I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to keep it real. I had got a phone call. No, I called somebody that I know, like, and trust, and they basically was like, yeah, you did a good job, but that one over there, they did amazing, and they did this, and mind you, they did, okay? Absolutely. That person did amazing, okay? But it really did make me feel like I wasn't enough. So that's when I called Shannon. She's like, girl, you were enough. And she even brought back one of the points that I made an attempt to make, and she confirmed it did hit like it was supposed to. So from that point on, guys, I have been on a fact-finding mission, because I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. I am walking in. I mean, this business is walking in. Shannon is walking in. We're walking in what God has called us to be. So when we say imposter syndrome, we're not trying to be nobody else. It is walking in who God says we are, okay?
Absolutely.
So it was like, okay, one thing that helped me out my funk, because baby, I'm not even gonna lie, so many pictures, so many videos I have not even posted yet because I'm working through this thing, okay? One thing I found, and I think I shared that with you, Shannon, there's this amazing teacher. His name is Myron Golden. Myron Golden created a video on YouTube and he explained imposter syndrome. And when he narrowed it down to Satan, the enemy, he was like, he never even has to create a new trick because the same ones he started with still work to this day. And one of them, for sure, he brought up Adam and Eve. He said in the Garden of Eden, they had access to everything except the one tree. One thing that he did to mislead humanity was have them focus on what they thought they lacked. Okay. When he said that, he said this the same thing with imposter syndrome. It is one of those things where he will have you say, well, I messed up on that. But see, you're not focused on the fact. I wasn't focused on the fact I actually did it. Me and Shannon actually did it. We were doubting whether we were gonna have the whole the table, but we did it. Like he will literally have you focus on all that you think you did wrong, but God will have us focus on who. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying. Am I saying it right, y'all? Is it coming out right? Okay.
I feel like I'm getting it. I just, like you said, the enemy has his way of distracting us, making us feel like we're not worthy enough. And back to your point, when we say imposter syndrome, we're not saying we want to be like anyone else other than who God called us to be. But sometimes God can place you in a role that you feel like is so much bigger than you are.
Yes.
It's like I have these huge shoes to fill, and I'm just like, but me, God, like me?
Right.
I feel like I'm not even feeling, you know what I'm saying? But that is the beauty of what God gives you. Like we had this, I'm not going to say small, but we had this idea of what Peace Over Everything was, right? What it could be, what we wanted it to be. But the thing about God is he takes what you think you want and multiplies it so much bigger and better than you could have ever imagined it to be. And so I think right now we're grasping the fact like, okay, we were thinking it was just going to be like this, when in reality, it's going to be so much, it's going to be greater than we could have ever imagined. And it's the disconnect between where we are now and where we want to be and where we see ourselves. And then where God has us is even further than that. It's the imposter syndrome is like, me? But why not you? And that's how you know that's the enemy, because you do show up. So that's going back to imposter syndrome. Here we are, we're showing up and we're just like, God, but we didn't do that. We didn't do this. Like we didn't have all the merch that we wanted. We didn't have all the things. But then God's just like, but you did it. You showed up. The enemy is trying to have you focus on what you lacked, right? I wasn't prepared. This was our very first event like this ever. I wasn't prepared. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, do I show up? Do I not show up? And then the enemy's attacking Erica. And he's like, yeah, you look cute, but you're not talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Which is something that I hope that was okay that I shared that, Erica.
Oh my God, baby, we here to be honest.
Okay. Because that's something we talked about behind the scenes. And it's just like, yeah, but when you look good, you feel good, you do good. But also, I'm here to tell you that, yes, while we like to be cute, we like to kiki, we like to cut up, at the root of it, the substance is there.
Yep.
But that is also how we connect with women. Like, hey, girl, your outfit is cute. Okay, that strikes up a conversation. But, baby, we talking about God. We talking about the podcast. We're talking about, testimonies and things that we've been through. And then it's like, oh, okay, it's more than just showing up and looking good. It's more than that.
Right.
It's so much more than that.
And it's crazy because, like, I used to be that type of girl. Like, in my younger days, I put so much energy in my looks. And it's like, now I'm at a place where it's like, okay, God, you've given me and Shannon this big thing. So whenever we show up anywhere, if it does, like she said, it draws people's attention because of how we look or how we dress or how we talk or how we carry ourselves, at that point, the attention is supposed to go straight back to him because it's in my heart. And like, we never have to be fake about it. I'm going to tell you where I stand. That's the foundation I stand on. So at some point, you're supposed to see him. So especially when I do the bigger things, or when she does the bigger things, or collectively when we do the bigger things. And I pulled up, now everybody know Moses in the Bible, right? Now y'all know everybody that's highlighted in the Bible really had issues. I think it was like Noah, he had a drinking problem one time. You know, Abraham had that little situation where he had a baby outside his marriage one time. Moses, everybody knows Moses. He parted the Red Sea, or God gave him the strength and the power to do that. But prior to that, God called him to go and speak and do certain things. And I do see here, I got it pulled up on my phone, where he did say that he felt like he was not worthy. He even asked God, like, who am I that I should go talk to Pharaoh? He questioned his own credentials and all of that, but God kept showing him in different ways. It's not because of you having the strength and the credentials. It's
Right.
because of me working through you. And
Amen.
I think he also had a speech impediment. So even while I'm messing up on a podcast, I'm here doing the podcast. Okay.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm going to make mistakes. Like,
Exactly. Instead of us focusing on like, okay, yeah, I said that word wrong, or I might say like too many times
right.
to my liking, but it's like, girls, you
Baby,
are
we
showing
here.
up. Literally,
Right.
we are living our wildest dreams right now, and we're doing the hard thing.
Right. Right.
We're doing the
low-key,
hard thing.
That has been that mindset alone, Shannon, for me personally, has been keeping me down. I love how God works, because it might be like one event or one situation that highlights something that has been like a weight. And I think ever since I did the panel and I was feeling down and all of that, it has highlighted, okay, now this is what I'm about to work out of you. We gonna burn this thing down to the ground at the root. Like, God, now we on the journey now to burning this stuff out of us. Like, it'll show up everywhere. Like in our personal, even just thinking like I'm not enough, or I don't do enough. Am I a good mom? Am I a good wife? You know, just always questioning. I'm like, when I tell y'all I want this out of me, like, my best is enough.
It is enough. And I just want to reiterate that to you and to anyone that's listening. When you show up and you're authentically, genuinely yourself, that is enough. When you open your mind, when you open your mouth and you're like, okay, God, use me. What do you want me to say? That is enough, because whatever that came out of your mouth was exactly what God wanted you to say.
That's
And
right.
so when me and Erica were talking and she's like, well, did I do enough? Did I say enough? Absolutely. Absolutely, you did. Whatever message you had that day was meant for someone. And I know you're telling your testimony and you're feeling like, okay, maybe I shouldn't tell that, maybe I shouldn't, but that is the whole purpose of a testimony is, okay, let me show you, God, let me tell you guys where I was. And then I'm able to testify because I made it through that, but I didn't make it through that alone. That is the whole point of testimony. Is, yes, I was here, but I'm able to talk about it and let it go and let it be free, because I'm hoping it's going to touch someone else who may be going through something similar to what I was going through. But understand, I did not get through this alone. God helps me every step of the way. Even when you feel like God is quiet, he's never gone. You know what I'm saying? God may be working something out for you. It's not me. God is working something out for you. You're thinking, okay, God, I want it to look like this. And God is saying, girl, you don't even know what I have on the other side of this. Just get through it. Even when you're still going through something, know that God is still there with you. And when you're able to testify and finally say, yes, I'm through whatever that is. Now it's my turn to help people. And that in turn, that testimony that you now have, that is your purpose. Whatever you've been brought through, that is your purpose.
That's
just
right.
like this podcast. Erica and I, we've gone through divorces and not necessarily having that support that we may have wanted, that community that we may have wanted, to then now building a community that's just for us, for her and I, and you listening at home. This is for anybody who has ever felt like they didn't have somebody. That's what Piece Over Everything is for. We are here to cheer you on and to be your cheerleaders and to encourage you and to just uplift you and to also let you know that where you were, where you are, where you're going, it's God all up and through that.
All up and through it, even at the lowest of the lows, like she
Absolutely.
said, when you look back, you realize those moments were foundational for your faith.
Absolutely.
Girl,
God kept you. Like, I might have been going through something, and it's always like, okay, God, get me through this, God, get me through this. But have you ever said, God, thank you for keeping me?
What?
Thank you for keeping me through this. Like, thank you for making sure, like, okay, yes, mentally I'm going through, but God kept me. You know, I'm not thinking about, I'm not having these depressive thoughts or whatever. God's keeping me through this. I might be feeling down right now or today or tomorrow, whatever. But But a week, a month, a year, whatever time has passed later, God, thank you for keeping me through that, because it could have been so much worse.
That's right.
It could have been so much worse, but you saw fit to keep me. And that lets you know, the fact that you're kept lets you know that your job's not done yet. You have a purpose on your life. And I'm talking to me, to Erica, to all of us. We have purpose over our life. The fact that we wake up each and every day should let you know that we have purpose over our life. We are here for a reason. You're here to touch somebody, to bring somebody to God. And sometimes it's just as not small, but it's just as big as just planting that seed. It's not my job to grow it. It's my job to just plant that seed in your mind.
Ooh, that's a word.
And then the next time I might plant it again. I'm not hammering it into your head. I'm just saying, okay, God put it on my heart to say this. And I might not even say those words, God put it on my heart. But if it comes up in conversation organically, I might just drop a little something and I'm going to go away. And then from there, it's going to grow in your heart. Every time I show up and I'm just like, okay, this is me. I'm trying. I'm, definitely further along in my walk with God. Nowhere near where I feel like I want to be, but I'm trying and I'm showing up and I'm talking about him when it comes up. But just know every time you see me, baby, that's God.
Okay.
And so that's like, we're saying this to our friends, but also to ourselves, because even at the event, we're like kind of low-key down on ourselves, like, man, she's not talking about us. And that's the enemy. Whereas, like, of course she's talking about us and we appreciate you and we thank you, but that was the seed that she was meant to plant on us that day. She doesn't even know, like, obviously you do now, girl, hey, but she didn't even know in that moment, like, she's just doing her thing. Like, oh my gosh, I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. It was like, it was as quick as a few minutes. But when I tell you, we talked about that moment from that day till now. Literally, we've talked about you, girl. I was like, I'm finna go on our Instagram and find her and make sure that that's who I thought it was. And it was. That's how I know your name is Ariel. I was like,
right.
And then I went and followed her back and then she's doing like her thing. She does social media management, like all the things. Like, it's crazy how God aligns. And that brings me to another point. There is no such thing, in my opinion, as an isolated event. Everything is connected. Everything is connected, whether it happened 3 months ago, it happened last week. Like, everything I feel like is connected. Like, we went from, okay, I don't know what we're going to do, to, okay, we're showing up. She's planting that seed. Okay, now we're in talks with a podcast studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, and it's crazy how he just shows up and shows out every single time.
Yeah, we can't let that one slide. God literally is taking this, what's happening right now, what y'all are hearing, and it's all in the works. So we just gonna let it all play out. But it's looking like the next level because we got started. That's the whole point. We got started and we keep showing up. You getting started with what he's calling you to do, and you keep showing up without it being perfect. We have to remember, let it not be the focus to be perfect, because perfection is not real, and nobody can connect with perfection because it's not real. But anyways, it looks like he's giving us a podcast studio that we may have some visuals for y'all soon. Okay.
Very, very soon. I'm very excited about that. And when I tell you, like, that was our dream from the beginning, and then things happen, things happen in life. Again, a trick of the enemy, trying to distract you, trying to keep you busy. That's what he does. He keeps you busy.
Right.
He makes things pop up so that you can't record, or that we can't link up and do content, whatever the case may be. But it's our job as disciples of Christ to keep showing up and pushing through those minor bumps in the road. Like, okay, yeah, we might have had to reschedule this recording 3 times, but we are here. We're here. And the point is, like, we didn't let the first time, like, okay, girl, I can't do it today. Can we do it tomorrow? Okay, girl, this is going on. Can we do it tomorrow? We did not stop and say, okay, girl, let's just do it next week. No. When is the very next time you could do this? Because one thing for sure, we have something to say, and we're going to say it.
I got it. I pulled up this word. It's Philippians 4:8. I just feel like it matches what we're talking about, and the Message version, because that's like my go-to. It, to me, when I read it, it's almost like we talking. But it says, summing it up, friends, I say you'll do best by filling your minds and meditating on things true, Noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not things to curse. Put into practice what you've learned from me, what you heard and saw and realized. Do that, and God, who makes everything work together, will work you into his most excellent harmonies. So we got a job to do. Like she said, we have to, like, we have free will to focus on the negative, to focus on the lack, which comes from the enemy, or we can get in our words, or we can listen to positive things.
Absolutely. It's about redirection.
Okay. Perspective.
Right. It is about perspective. Just like I think episode 1, you talked about the sticky notes, rewiring your mind. And you talked about it on the panel too, rewiring your mind. Okay. Right now I have a negative lie in my head, right?
Right.
It's my job to redirect, to combat that thought with something positive.
Yep.
And so in Erica's case, it was the sticky notes on the mirrors, reciting the Bible verses to myself, speaking life into me. Like she just said, we have a job to do. And in that day, the day of the event, we looked at each other and we were like, we have some work to do.
Yeah.
We have some work to do to make this as big as we know it's going to be, and even bigger when God's hand is in it. We have some work to do. So that's going to require us to have some long nights, to show up and be consistent above all. Schedules are hectic, but it requires us to get out there, to show up. And that's literally all God wants us to do is just show up.
Wow.
So I don't know who needs to hear this, but you got some work to do, and so do we.
Period.
And that's it, and that's all. We are so thankful to Miss Tanya for even putting on such an amazing event. When I tell you next year, y'all, we gonna put it in all the social media platforms, everything. I want everybody to experience just the level of empowerment that Erica and I got, and I'm sure the other attendees got from that day. Like, even when I go on Facebook and I'm still seeing all the pictures, I'm just like, wow, I remember how excited I was on the phone, talking to my mom, like, oh my God, and we did this, and they talked about this, and I'm excited. And then I called Erica, I think, the next morning, or text like, girl, are you still feeling like I'm feeling? Because, baby, it was all up and through the room from the fashion show, which, and let me just say this, that fashion show
ate it up.
Was Miss Dominique, I believe.
Yes.
I believe. You killed that.
Killed it.
You killed that. And it's even crazy because even at the award show, she had received an award, and in her acceptance speech, she had said, you wouldn't even believe that I was thinking about not doing this anymore. Right? Isn't that crazy? And then she's like, but here I am still doing it. It's just like the doubt that you might think or whatever. It doesn't just happen to one person. It happens to all of us. But it's our job to keep pushing through, to have people to say, I know you're feeling down right now. But girl, when I tell you I would miss this if you didn't do it.
Right.
You are touching somebody. That fashion show, ma'am, from start to finish, was right on time. The DJ was right on time, baby. The testimonies, oh my goodness, the keynote speaker, like everything.
So we'll have the link to the website for the event down wherever you're listening to this podcast so that you can learn a little bit more about it. Like she said, next year we're going to post all about it.
Yeah. When I tell y'all, it was right on time. That's why I don't feel like there's a such thing as a coincidence, because God knew we needed that. He knew, no, you need to show up. And I told you guys, there was a second where we weren't going to even go. Well, we were going to go, but we weren't going to show up quite like we did. But God knew we needed that. And I really feel like someone else who didn't get an opportunity to go this year, put it on your calendars for next year, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe this is a sign for you. Whatever that little thing is, you like, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Just freaking do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Thank y'all so much for listening to the podcast. Until next time.
See y'all next time.